Hello, good
Hi,
morning,
everyone.
everybody. Welcome Monday morning to the webinar. How is everyone
Yes,
today?
welcome.
Excellent. Please introduce yourselves and tell us about the most extreme thing you've ever done. This is a difficult question.
So if you're joining us now, please type in the chat. Yes, it's a very difficult question, yeah. So please, if you're joining us now, introduce yourselves and tell us about the most extreme thing you've ever done. Yes. It could be an
In the
activity, it
chat
could be a
box.
sport.
I'm trying to
Exactly.
think of myself. What's the most extreme thing?
Yes. I've already got my answer ready if you want.
Okay, Aaron, do you want to start?
Yes. So the most extreme thing I've ever done is paragliding. So for those of you that don't know, paragliding is when you have a parachute and you run off a mountain. So it's either a very tall hill or a mountain.
So you
You
go and you...
jump. And
Wow.
so you run so that the parachute kind of lifts up. And once it's high enough, you just glide off. And you're using hot air currents to stay up in the air. And
Wow.
it was organized by a colleague of ours at the time as for her birthday. And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's go. So
Yeah.
it was near Modena, a place called Sestola. And yeah, usually in the winter they do skiing there, but in the summer they organize paragliding. So
Ah,
it was very
interesting.
exciting.
And did you enjoy the experience? Would you recommend it?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
It was great because we basically stayed there all afternoon. Only 2 or 3 people did it at a time. You had an instructor, of course, that told you everything about the experience, what you needed to do, what not to do, and yeah, it was great.
So you felt safe. You felt taken care of by the instructors. Oh. Hello, Aaron. Can you hear me? Okay. While we're waiting for Aaron, I will introduce myself and tell you about the most extreme thing I've ever done. So, my name is Emily. I come from Leicester, which is a city in England. And it's famous for the football. A few years ago, Claudio Ranieri was the coach who organized or who helped us to win the Premier League. So my name is Emily and I come from Leicester. In terms of the most extreme thing I've ever done, honestly, I'm not a very extreme person. So I haven't done anything exciting like Aaron. I guess one of the most extreme things I've ever done is go to Malaysia on my honeymoon. And we stayed in a resort in the middle of the jungle. So we had lots of animals around us. We could hear a lot of different... Hi, Sole. Nice to see you. How are you? We could hear a lot of different animals. And yeah, it was very interesting because usually in a place like Bologna in Italy, we don't live so close to the jungle. We don't live so close to nature. So for me, that was a pretty extreme thing. Let's see if Aaron is back. Aaron, can you hear me? No. Okay. Welcome, Sole. Hi. Can you please introduce yourself? You've touched a tiger. Wow. Really interesting. Can you give us some more information? Where, when, why, and how did it feel? What was your experience? I can see we have 5 people watching. Can you guys tell us your name, your age, your job, and the most extreme thing you've ever done? As I was saying before, personally, I'm not a very extreme person. So I'm not like Sole. I haven't touched a tiger. I haven't been paragliding. So maybe the most extreme thing I've done is go on a holiday to Malaysia, where we stayed near the jungle. Excellent. Good morning, Deborah, from Padua. Nice. I've done paragliding near Lake Garda, parachuting in Verona, and surfing in Spain. Wow. So it sounds like you like extreme sports, Deborah. Can you tell us which would you recommend? Would you recommend parachuting, paragliding, or surfing? Please, can you tell us what would you recommend and why? And so if you could give us some more information about where and when and why you touched a tiger. Okay, so for those of you joining us now, can you please introduce yourselves and tell us about the most extreme thing you've ever done? If you've done any extreme sports, if you've been to any extreme places. Wow, you had a friend who worked at the zoo and he wanted to about 6 or 7 years ago. Wow. Really interesting. And how did you feel, Sole? Were you scared? Were you nervous? How did you feel after? What was your reaction? Because I can imagine it's very scary touching a tiger. Okay. Let's see if Aaron is back. No, he's not. Okay. Oh, maybe he's here. Let's try. Sometimes connecting to the internet can be pretty extreme too. Okay. So anyone else who's joining us, we have 5 people. Please introduce yourself and tell us about the most extreme thing you've ever done. So I was so scared. The tiger snoozed at my hand. What do you mean by snoozed? So like a snoozed in English is like sleep. You mean that he slept on your hand? Wow, that would be really amazing. Or do you mean sniffed? Sniffed is like when they smell something. Yeah, so let me know. Do you mean snoozed or sniffed? Excellent. Let's see if Aaron is with us again. No? Okay. Okay, guys, let's go through the focus. Hopefully my colleague Aaron will join us very soon. I think he's having some connection problems. If you haven't introduced yourselves yet, please do. And tell us about the most extreme thing you've ever done. Sneeze. Okay, sneezed. Good. Yeah, so we have snooze and sneeze. They're very similar. But sneeze is when I'm sick, I have a cold and I sneeze at you. And snooze is to sleep. Yeah, so very similar. Okay, so we have Sole, Deborah, and hopefully Aaron. Aaron, hello, you're back.
I think I have connection problems there for a second.
Welcome, Aaron. We've just been introduced to Sole.
Who told us Sole.
The most extreme thing is she touched a tiger.
Okay, wow.
She had a friend who worked in the zoo. Mm-hmm. She was very scared.
And the tiger snoozed on her at her hand.
She meant sneezed.
Oh, sneezed. Sneeze.
We're talking about the difference between snooze and sneeze.
Excellent. Yes, very important difference.
Definitely, very important difference.
And Deborah says, "Good morning, Deborah. Hi. I'm Deborah and I'm from Padua. I've done paragliding near Lake Garda, parachuting in Verona, and surfing in Spain." Wonderful. Usually parachuting, we call it skydiving.
Yes, definitely. And she continued, my favorite is skydiving. The minutes for me, I fell from the plane at 4,000 meters high were incredible. Yeah. Wow. I imagine.
I would love to try paragliding. Skydiving. I enjoyed paragliding, so I think skydiving would be the next step, definitely.
We also have Frederica. Hi, I'm Frederica. I'm 29. I was born in Caserta in Naples. I have lived in Milan for 2 years.
Wonderful. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Tell us, what is the most extreme thing you've done? Whether it's a sport or an activity, or I don't know, maybe you met a lion as well. Oh, a tiger, yes.
Yeah.
What
Aaron,
zoo was it? Sort of tell us, please.
Yeah, what type of zoo? Where? Do you want to repeat your extreme thing, Aaron? Because I don't know if they heard you.
I did paragliding as well. It was a colleague of mine that organized it as a birthday party, very alternative. And so, yeah, we went to a place near Modena called Sestola. And usually in the winter they have skiing, they have slopes there. But in the summer, it's all dry. There is no snow. So
they take advantage.
They take advantage, yes. You go into a truck, you go up a very steep path up to, well, the top of one of these hills, very tall hills. I think they qualify as mountains. And they strap you in with an instructor, and you jump off the side of the mountain with the parachute, and it's great. You use the hot air currents to stay up, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Plus, you get to see all of the countryside. I saw Modena in the distance.
From above.
From above. It was great.
Nice.
We've got some comments here.
Okay, yeah, similar. Yeah, you can see and enjoy the landscape. You have to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Recommend it. Sole, in the south, it was illegal. Okay. Okay, we won't tell anyone.
We won't.
No names.
We won't say anything.
Good. Wow, we have students.
Don't worry, it's not like it's on the internet.
No. Nobody knows. There are many zoos in the south.
Exactly.
Frederica, if you want to tell us too the most extreme thing you've ever done, that would be great.
And what about you, Emily? What did you choose to tell us about?
I was saying to them that I'm not really an extreme person. I think maybe the most extreme thing I've ever done is when I was on my honeymoon. We stayed in a hotel, but the hotel was in the middle of the jungle. Oh. So we were really isolated from, let's say, civilization. It was very beautiful, but like at nighttime you could hear different animals, and things that we're not used to. So it was very comfortable because it was a hotel, but it was very strange because it was in the middle of the jungle.
Okay, interesting. And Federica says, I'm a coward, so I don't do extreme things. I would use Scaredy cat. Maybe you can type that in the comments. Yeah. Coward usually has a kind of a negative connotation to it. I would use it more. I wouldn't use it to describe yourself. That's a bit mean. Use Scaredy cat. Scaredy cat.
Is that the spelling? I think it is.
I think there's an E after the R, but I want to check that.
Yeah, scared. Yeah, there's an E. Yeah.
There's an E after the R. So this is a kind of a sweet way of saying that you're afraid of a lot of things. So.
Yeah, I agree with Frederica. I'm a scaredy cat. Okay, let's have a look at today's focus. So it is about adventure. Aaron, do you want to read for us?
In this focus activity, describing an adventure using conditionals, overcoming fear.
Perfect. And just be careful with pronunciation. In English, this T-U-R-E is a ch.
Yeah, adventure.
Adventure.
So
let's have a look at the first question.
Do you agree? This is very important. Agree is a verb. A lot of Italian students get this wrong, but remember, agree is a verb. Do you agree? Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Yes, or I agree.
Exactly.
I disagree. No to be. So we have life is an adventure, or it is nothing at all. Very philosophical question.
Who said this? I think we have the...
Oh, do we have the name of the person?
I think so. Yes.
Helen Keller. Yes.
I wonder who Helen Keller was, or is.
Yes. Who knows? Maybe we can search.
We'll find out. So please tell us, do you agree or disagree with this quote? By the way, she was an American author, political activist, and lecturer. She was the first deaf-blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. Bachelor of Arts degree.
Perfect. Very accomplished person. Okay, guys, can you tell us, do you agree or do you disagree? And why?
What about you,
Aaron,
Emily?
Okay. I agree partly. I partly agree. I think we have to risk things in life. Otherwise, we don't really grow. Life gets a little bit boring. But I think adventure doesn't necessarily have to be like skydiving or touching a tiger. Adventure can also be in smaller ways. So trying for a new job, moving city, moving country.
Definitely. It doesn't have to be so extreme. I suppose adventure could be anything. Just moving outside your comfort zone is an adventure in itself.
Yeah. So yeah, depends on the definition of adventure, but yeah. And so yeah, everything you could do could be adventurous.
Absolutely. I don't agree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So it depends on what we consider adventure. Aaron, what about you? What do you think?
I 100% agree with what you were saying, Emily. I think it is important. But then again, some people like their routine and they'll do anything special. And I don't think that's less of a life than anybody else. So, but definitely, I think it's important to push yourself and experiment and do new things. But it doesn't necessarily have to be an extreme sport.
Yeah, it depends on the person, on the life.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, if you can try and use some adverbs, that would be really good. So for example, Aaron said, I agree 100%. I said, I partly agree. Or I agree partly.
Yes.
So try and use maybe some adverbs to show the extent of your agreement. You could do something like, I partly agree, I completely agree, totally agree. Good. Excellent. I don't agree at all. Nice.
Good done. Good job. Deborah says, I don't agree. Everything you do is an adventure. All people have their opinion of adventures. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I think we all agree with each other.
Yes, I think so. Yes, definitely. That's great. Good.
Yeah, good points.
Okay. Do you consider yourself to be adventurous or a daredevil? These aren't actually antonyms. They don't mean different things. A daredevil is adventurous. So, how would you define a daredevil?
I would say it's the opposite of a scaredy cat.
Yes.
So someone who doesn't fear, is not afraid of doing extreme things.
It could also mean someone who is quite reckless or who doesn't really who isn't very careful.
Yeah. So it's risky sometimes.
Risky, definitely.
They take risks. Yeah.
It's also the title of a TV series on Netflix. It's a Marvel TV series. It's a superhero. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't, but I can imagine why it's the title of a superhero series.
Please tell us in the comments, have you seen Daredevil on Netflix? It's very good, by the way. I'd highly recommend it. It's a very peculiar secondary superhero in the Marvel universe, and his special power is that even though he is blind, his other senses are incredibly developed. So he uses that to fight crime.
Interesting. Nice. Okay, so a bit of both, maybe. Okay. Yeah, maybe depends. What about Deborah and Frederica? Are you a daredevil or are you a scaredy cat? Aaron, what about you?
Somewhere in the middle. I like to experiment and try new things, but nothing too extreme. I'm never reckless, so I need to think things through a lot before I make any big decisions. So I'm not very impulsive.
Okay, so you consider
Yes.
the risk before.
What
Yeah, I
about
think
you,
that's
Emily?
important. I'm definitely more of a scaredy cat, I think. In general, I think I wouldn't do something if I felt there was a small chance of it going wrong. So maybe in my life, kind of with less extreme things, so like moving to a different country, I'd be a little bit more of a daredevil. But if we're talking about really extreme sports, this kind of thing, definitely a scaredy cat. Okay, good. I agree.
So, Deborah, remember that agree is a verb, so there is no need to use the verb to be. So in this case, you'd say, I agree with Sole. You could say, I share her opinion. I share her same opinion.
Yeah, I share her opinion. Yeah, so this is really important. No to be with agree in English. I agree. I disagree.
Or I disagree, exactly. And the question is, do you agree? There is no verb to be anywhere to be found. So
Yeah. I guess in Italian they would say the translation "I'm in agreement."
yes,
Be
but
the
it does
literal
exist in
translation.
English, but it's very old. It's archaic. I would never say I'm in agreement with you. I would say I agree with you.
Yeah, so in English we just say I agree with agree as the verb. That is the noun. Okay, let's have a look at question number 2.
What is the most adventurous thing you've done in your life so far? This was our intro question.
Yeah, touching a tiger, skydiving.
Federica says, I don't understand the difference between adventurous and daredevil. As I said before, it's quite similar. But I suppose daredevil also has, as I was saying, a connotation of maybe not being careful at all. So being a bit reckless.
Yeah, it's maybe more than adventurous.
It's a step
It's
up
like
from
extremely
adventurous.
adventurous. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the different adventurous things. If anyone has another adventurous thing they've done, let us know. Number 3, what adventurous thing would you like to do in the future?
Tell us in the comments, please.
Interesting. Aaron, what about you?
I would definitely like to try skydiving. I got a glowing review from Deborah, so I'm definitely gonna have to try it. I've always wanted to, so it's always something that's fascinated me. And since I've tried paragliding and I enjoyed it, I think sooner or later I'll be able to take the next step and go actually skydiving.
Excellent. Nice. For me, I think I would like to return to Malaysia, maybe do some more trekking, go into the jungle a little bit more.
Yeah,
See more of
interesting.
the wildlife.
You use trekking. Can you explain trekking?
Yeah, trekking is like walking, but extreme walking. It's similar to hiking, I guess. But when you go for a long walk, usually on a specific route, for example, through the jungle or in the desert, usually in a very
Exactly.
wild environment.
And it's usually for a long period, so maybe multiple days.
Yeah.
It's usually to get from A to B. While hiking, I would only use it for mountains, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's usually a day activity, right? You
Yeah.
go out in the morning, come back in the evening. It's a
Yeah.
lot less extreme than trekking, let's say. You could trek in the mountains, in the jungle, in the desert, etc.
So I would like to try hot air balloon. Good. Excellent. Bungee jumping and riding a bull. Wow.
Like a cowgirl, fantastic, yeah.
Nice. Interesting.
Remember, the activities always have the ing. So riding a bull. Ooh, riding a bull. I don't think I would ever do that. That would
Me
really
neither.
scare me.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable and very strong
Yes,
as
exactly.
well.
Like riding a bull scares me a lot more than skydiving, for example. Like jumping out of the plane, that's okay. Riding a bull, even
Yeah,
though it's on the ground,
there's more, I don't know, more chance, I guess, of the bull getting angry.
yeah, I don't know, because it's really strong, as you said, and it's got some very big horns.
Could all go wrong. Deborah, I would like to try rafting, but in a more dangerous place. I've done one in Verona, but it was quite easy. Okay, but really nice. Good.
Okay, nice,
So
nice.
extreme rafting.
Extreme rafting, yeah. I imagine. I wonder where you could do extreme rafting. I suppose. I don't know. Maybe somewhere kind of more up north, maybe in the mountains. I know in America they do a lot of rafting.
Yeah.
Do they do any rafting in the UK?
Not really, no. I maybe in Scotland a little bit, but
Hmm,
I don't think we really have the rivers that are so kind
impetuous.
of yeah, strong.
Hmm. I know they do some rafting in Ireland, but it's not. It's nothing too extreme. But I would definitely recommend it. It's great because the scenery is wonderful. So.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Mhm.
Frederica, what about you? Can you tell us about an adventurous thing you would like to do?
Maybe in the future.
If you would like to do one.
Exactly.
Maybe not. Okay, number 4.
What adventures would you like to avoid? Definitely, I would like to avoid riding a bull.
Yes, I agree. And remember, avoid we have with ing.
Yes.
Okay, so what adventures would you like to avoid? Is there anything that you definitely
Would
wouldn't do?
hate to try. Let me think of something else I'd hate. Ooh, what they call downhill, when it's basically you're riding your bike down a very steep hill. It's usually done in the mountains, and yeah, I find it incredibly scary.
That's steep like
So,
this,
like
vertical.
really steep, almost a vertical hill or cliff, and you're going down with your bike. And I don't know, I feel like it would be really hard to keep the bike under control, especially,
Yeah,
because it's never on asphalt, it's always on the ground, it's always on rocks or something. So I don't know, I find it really scary.
yeah, definitely. I agree. Anything where you're going down a steep hill is probably scary.
Something you'd avoid.
Um, I think I would avoid free climbing.
Ooh.
So like when you go rock climbing, but you have no protection. Um, you have to be with the B. You have to be really focused all the time.
Hmm.
A lot of pressure. Free
I
climb.
agree. I feel like it's just an extra level of risk for no real reason.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Deborah says I would like to avoid maybe bungee jumping. I don't know why, but I'm a bit scared of this sport. Hmm.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
Sola says I would like to avoid maybe something with crocodiles or insects.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I would like to keep my interactions with crocodiles or insects to the bare minimum.
I don't know if it exists in Italy, but in the UK we have a program, a reality show called I'm a Celebrity.
Mhm.
Get Me Out of Here, where the
Mhm.
celebrities go into a jungle and they do some different challenges. They eat some insects.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is the show. Um, yeah.
Interesting. I've never seen it. Is it good?
Um, it depends. It's quite extreme. So they give them these challenges, like you have to stay in a box with all the spiders, or you have to go over a lake with crocodiles.
Oh
So it's
no.
quite tough. It's a tough program, I think.
Hmm.
I don't like watching it because it makes me nervous.
Nervous. I'd really like to try Flight of the Angel.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. Please,
No.
Deborah, explain. Tell us more about this Flight of the Angel.
Yeah, what is the Flight of the Angel? I'm going to Google it and see. Flight of the Angel.
And so it says, I've seen that show. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. I guess there is an Italian equivalent.
Maybe,
Most
I
of
don't
these
know.
shows are
I've never seen
popular.
anything like it.
Mm.
But yeah, I suppose anything to do with insects.
Okay, I'm looking at Flight of the Angel. So it's like when you have some strings and you kind of come down from a high place. Think of like Venice in the
Zip
carnival.
lining.
Similar, but more like in a carnival costume, I think.
Okay,
It's like a circus thing,
interesting.
if that's the correct one. Yeah, like a zip wire, more or less. Yeah.
Okay. Also, this is another good word, Zipwire or zip line. It's another activity you could do, which can be quite extreme depending on where you do it.
And the location and the height.
Exactly. They usually strap you in and you connect. I don't know what it's called even.
The
It's not a
wire.
hook. It's I don't know. Anyway, Federica said I would like to avoid parachute jumping. Yes, again we'd call it skydiving, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Skydiving is not for me.
I'd definitely try it. I want to try it. It's a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah,
At least once. Why not?
yeah, definitely. Some people, it depends on your personality, I guess. There's no right or wrong answer. Depends what you want to do.
So Deborah says it's not that. It's when. Remember your subject. It is when you fly from a mountain to another.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So maybe like you have wings, you jump like a glider, gliding.
Maybe it's a gliding. Are you thinking maybe from in one of those bat suits? Is that what it's called? A bat suit?
Yes, I think so.
The one
Like,
with the where you have a wing here where you jump off a mountain, you kind of glide forward. I don't know. That's something I would like to avoid as well. That feels very dangerous.
I would avoid. So maybe in English we say gliding, or it's some type of gliding, where the wind takes you. Something like that. Okay. Shall we have a look at some language?
Yeah, why not?
Aaron, would you like to read for me?
Sure. My uncle is a thrill seeker. He enjoys doing extreme sports and is fearless. I would like to be as brave as he is someday. My worst fear is heights. If I want to be a daredevil like him, I will need to be daring and face my fear. I have thought about trying something dangerous like skydiving, but I'm afraid that it's too risky and extremely hazardous. My uncle, however, says it's the biggest adrenaline rush. My mum says not to listen to him since he is an adrenaline junkie.
Lots of interesting vocabulary here.
Yes, lots of interesting vocabulary squashed into one text. I don't think anybody would really write like this, but
no, it's an example.
it's an example to just try use as many adventure words as possible.
Definitely. It sounds a little bit too much, but
yeah.
Okay, so which 3 words can describe somebody that loves to do extreme activities? So in the text, can you find us 3 words that describe someone, so a person, that loves to do extreme activities?
Exactly. One of them I think we've already seen.
So we're looking for maybe... Definitely. So we're looking for maybe a noun or possibly an adjective also. No, I think a noun in this situation.
Are all 3 of them nouns?
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's talk about the word thrilling.
Ooh, yes, definitely. This is an interesting word.
I think so. Okay, so a daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember we're talking about a person. We need to, so yeah, definitely a daredevil.
Good morning,
Jacomina, good
Jacomina.
morning. Welcome to the activity.
We're looking at some vocabulary relating to adventure and adventurous activities.
Junkie, be careful with junkie.
Mhm. Do specify what you're a junkie for.
Yeah,
Thrill seeker,
thrill
very good.
seeker.
It's important to specify that you're an adrenaline junkie because a junkie in general is someone addicted to something. Usually it's implied that you're addicted to some sort of drug. So in this case, the substance you're addicted to is adrenaline. Yeah.
Yeah, so usually a junkie is someone who is addicted. So we would say someone who's addicted to drugs is a junkie. In this case, we need to specify adrenaline junkie.
Exactly.
As someone who's addicted to adrenaline. Yeah, perfect. Are you there, Aaron? Can you hear us? Yeah.
Yeah. I think the connection isn't very good again, but
Okay. Good.
I really.
I think there was a little break in the connection.
Okay, which three
You
words
can
are
hear us.
synonyms for unafraid?
Okay, so we have. So this time we're looking for adjectives to describe someone who is unafraid.
Let's see what they find.
Does anyone know? So remember, this is an adjective.
Yes, exactly.
Fearless, perfect.
Well done, Federica.
Fear.
Yes, any word that has a less
I think
at the end of the adjective means without that thing. Yeah. The opposite would be something
stressless.
with full. Yeah, stressless.
Yeah, fearful. Okay, so you have fearless. Anything else? Two more. One begins with a D. Anyone know? Fearless. Shall we show them maybe?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so daring, fearless, and brave. When you are unafraid. Okay, finally, three words which are synonyms for unsafe.
Unsafe, yes, unsafe. Have a look in the text if you can find any of these. Federica and Deborah, well done for fearless. Try to see if there's any other ones in there which mean unsafe. So, well, I won't say any other adjectives because they're in there. So again, we're looking for adjectives.
Aaron, do you know anyone who is an adrenaline junkie? Do you have any friends who love adrenaline?
Good question. No, but I can think of a student of ours who's an adrenaline junkie. He does paragliding as a hobby, and he's done skydiving on many occasions. And I feel like every single time I see him, he tells me about something crazy that he's done. Last weekend I did this, which is incredibly dangerous. You know.
He's always telling you stories.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, daring, extreme sport. Yeah, we're looking for adjectives here. So daring is to describe the person who is unafraid. What about an adjective for unsafe? So not safe.
Very good, Federica. We have dangerous, risky. Dangerous for sure. So try to look for other adjectives that are similar to dangerous.
Dangerous, risky. One more. Begins with an H.
Yes.
Give you a clue. Risky, perfect. Sole, good. One more, beginning with an H. Dangerous, perfect, Deborah.
Well done, Deborah.
2. One more.
Find the adjective with a H. It's about midway, but
hazardous, perfect.
Yes, well done, Sole. Hazardous, yes. Hazardous is again very similar to dangerous. Something that could definitely harm you.
So they're all synonyms, really. I would say maybe risky is more colloquial, is more informal. Hazardous sounds very formal.
I feel like hazardous and dangerous are kind of a step up. Hazardous and dangerous definitely have a very negative meaning to them. Risky doesn't necessarily mean it's dangerous. It means you're taking a risk.
Yeah.
So it could come out really well. Like it could turn out well. Like exactly. You're taking a chance, though.
Whereas dangerous, is more negative. Like
I feel like you're always in danger. You know, it's always a risk.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's have a look at some conditions. Okay.
Or conditionals.
Conditionals. So, can anyone tell us when do we use the first conditional?
Yes.
And how do we make it?
Can you think of any examples? If you can think of any examples, please tell us in the comments of a first conditional.
Yeah. When do we use a conditional? How do we make it? And can you think of any examples? I think conditionals are so useful in language.
Very.
They give you the possibility to talk about not just things that are real, but also more abstract things.
It's true, yeah. And to think of, well, not for the first one, but for other conditionals, you can look at hypothetical situations. You can put yourself in possibilities, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. When it's 100% approved by science, Sole, that is the zero conditional.
Yeah, also, Giacomino, I think zero conditional
when something is true.
Fact. Yeah, a fact is a scientific. Yeah.
That is the zero conditional. But the first conditional is a little bit different. Again, Federica, you're thinking of the zero conditional.
We have a fake conditional in English. Example, if you boil water, it becomes steam, or it evaporates.
But well done, Giacomina. That is the structure of the first conditional, present simple plus will or won't.
Now, this is an example of zero conditional. If you boil water, it evaporates. It's a fact. Yeah, so Giacomino, really good. But when do we use it? So it's not a fact.
This is the question.
Not quite a fact. Should we give them an example, Aaron, maybe?
Yes, definitely. Let's think of an example with the first conditional.
Deborah, yeah, good. If present simple, future simple.
Yeah, exactly. Or going to. You can also make a first conditional with going to. Either will or going to. If you don't study, you won't pass your checkpoint.
Yeah. Good idea. Or you won't pass your exam in general.
Yeah. I wanted to keep it MyS related.
Yeah. Oh, if you don't study, you won't pass your exam. Sorry. I made the mistake. You won't pass.
Yeah. If
Good.
I work hard, I'll finish my homework in 1 hour. Very good, Deborah. Very good.
Yeah, good. Perfect. Yeah, so the first condition is not quite a fact, it's a possibility.
It's usually when you're talking about cause and effect. Yeah. If I do this here now, I'll have an effect in the future.
Yeah, so they say surely. It's not 100% sure, but there is a high possibility. Whereas if we look at this one, 100%.
Very good, Federica. First is for consequence on the future. Yes, very good.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
say in the future, but yes.
Good. If it rains, I'll bring an umbrella.
Exactly.
So maybe it will rain, maybe it won't.
But if it does, I will do this.
Yeah. Good. So it's a little bit different from zero conditional. It's not 100%. Aaron, do you want to read the examples?
If my friend wants to go skydiving, I will go with him. Can you move the banner? Because I can't read the second one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's hiding.
If you are a daredevil, you will like skydiving.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk about the second conditional.
When do we use the second conditional? And if you know the structure of it, please tell us in the comments as well.
So we have zero. That's a fact. First is a consequence in the future with a high possibility. Second.
What is the second?
I like the second. The second is the conditional
Probably
that allows you to dream.
Yes.
The first one's a bit stuck in reality. If it rains, yeah. The second one is a little bit more dreamy.
A little bit more fun to play with. The third one is just regrets and is depressing.
Very sad.
Yes.
So can anyone tell us?
I told you so comments.
Yeah, for your parents maybe.
Exactly.
If you had studied.
It's nice that we're English teachers, and of course it shows because we have a favorite conditional.
Yeah. Definitely.
That should be one of our intro questions. What is your favorite conditional? And why?
Nice. First, second, or third. We'll learn a lot about people.
Exactly.
A pessimistic, optimistic, realistic.
True. Or unrealistic. So happens.
So guys, second conditional. When do we use this?
I think we'll have to give them the answer because we're starting to run out of time. So the second condition is for unreal situations, for hypothetical situations.
Yeah, perfect. And structure, if, subject, past simple, and would.
Very good, Deborah. And sort of to describe the consequences of an unreal situation. Yes, exactly. It's a completely hypothetical situation. Very good for the structure, Deborah. If I were fearless, I would do skydiving.
But I'm not.
So I won't.
If it weren't so dangerous, I would touch a tiger.
Exactly.
But it is dangerous, so I won't.
If it weren't so dangerous, I would swim with sharks. But it is, so I won't.
Okay, shall we quickly have a look at the third condition? We have 1 minute, guys, so we'll just recap. Aaron, do you want to read us the structure?
If subject past perfect would have plus past participle.
For example, if I hadn't been pushed out of my comfort zone, I wouldn't have developed a strong personality.
Very good. If I hadn't overcome my biggest fear, I wouldn't have, I don't know, touched a tiger. I don't know.
Yeah. So the third condition is for past conditions.
Exactly. Things that if they had happened in the past, they would have had a consequence in the past. So it's always stuck in the past.
That's some good examples.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. If I were a boy, my name would be Joe.
Yeah, perfect. But I'm not a
Yeah.
boy, so my name is not Joe.
If I won €1,000,000, I would travel all over the world. Yeah. Excellent. Perfect.
Second is for
Okay,
things that
guys.
didn't happen. That would be more for the third, for things that didn't happen and didn't have a consequence in the past.
Yeah. Perfect. So, guys, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, Deborah, Sole, Federica, for all of you joining us.
Yes. And keep practicing your conditionals, especially the third one. We didn't have much time today, but it's a useful conditional to express past conditions.
Definitely.
Okay, guys. Have a lovely day.
See you soon.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Jacqueline. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Jacqueline.
Sole.
Bye-bye.